Well, good morning, Monday, 10:11. How are you? How's everybody doing? 10:11, I meant the time, not the date or anything like that, okay? I don't know, did you guys get to check out my live video yesterday? If not, well, we might do another one this Sunday or someday during the week. I'll put notices up here and then on Facebook and a couple other places if I can. Read an interesting story this morning off of CNN that Kamala Harris is pondering running again, and I guess that would be 2028. My advice, don't do it. The Democrats don't need to stay where they are. They need to move on. They need to come up with a new idea, a new agenda, new leadership. This isn't going to This isn't going to work. All right, she can't. The supposed Republican candidate, assuming that Trump allows an election to take place, the candidate that would be from the Republican Party more than likely would be J.D. Vance. Now, J.D. Vance is much more articulate, much smarter than Kamala. Kamala's not going to beat him in a debate. Kamala's going to look stupid in a debate. Kamala has to come out with programs that are going to fix whatever the problems are at that particular time, and she has to be able to describe them, tell them what she's going to do, how she's going to implement them, who's going to be affected, all the things she didn't do the last time. So, knowing that she's not going to do that, that she's dealing with a core of Democrats that need to be put out the pasture, let's say, okay? So I don't see any future for her running. I would rather vote for Nikki Haley than vote for her. And Nikki Haley sounds crazy because she's a Republican, but she's also intelligent. She's also smart enough to realize that, Trump is being an extreme. Now, this could be called, so what you're saying is that whatever Trump does, she's going to come in just like Biden did, and she's going to undo it all, okay? That's not going to work either, depending on how badly he screwed. Musk and Trump and his little army of dipshits screw everything up. Politics has to start thinking. We have to have politicians that think differently, all right? Okay, what are we going to do for the people that elect us? Not, I am smarter than everybody else in this room. We are smarter than the people that elect us. Therefore, we have the right to do what we want to do because we think it's best for the country. Now, that might be true in some cases, but the public has to have a way to stop that. And the Congress and the Senate were supposed to be that way. All right? You're going to have to figure out a way to either to get rid of two or three Supreme Court justices and have moderates put in their place, not liberals and not conservatives, but people that are honest, independent moderates. Okay, that's what you need. All right. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Do I think Kamala's going to run? Maybe. Can she win? No. Okay, I don't care how bad things get. I don't think there's enough support for her to do it again. I think she might have trouble getting nominated to do it again. So we'll see what happens there. Because she's been quiet for too long after the election. She's not indignant. She's pathetic. And I'm sorry. I liked her. I really did. I thought she had a shot at winning, being the first woman president. That would have been great. I had no problems with women. Women lead a lot of the major countries on this planet. But I do think that she's just not the right person to run anymore. She ran on the wrong issues. People were complaining about the high cost of living, the grocery prices, and she said, I'll fix it. How? How are you going to fix it? grocery prices are primarily based upon two things: greed and supply and demand. So how do you fix that? And how do you fix it right away? Greed you can't stop. Supply and demand, it ain't going to happen overnight. So first you have to prove the supply isn't there, and that's what's causing the prices go up, or that the supply is there and that the demand is false. Okay? Alright, so I don't know what you're going to do there. Alright, now moving along. I watched the Giants game yesterday. That was sad. Really, 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 really sad. They're just not a good football team from top to bottom, and I don't think the defense, which was supposed to be fairly good and has some outstanding players on it, is going to do it for them. I don't think Tommy DeVito is the answer at quarterback. You know, just like the Raiders have quarterback problems now, you know, and that they don't have anybody there that can do it. The Giants don't have anybody in the wings that can do it. So basically the Giants are playing to lose so that they can get a high draft choice and probably get a good quarterback. If I'm the Manning family and they start looking at Arch Manning, I would tell the Giants no. Okay, I would try to get, if Manning's going to go someplace, I would have him try to go to the Rams or like they say, to go to a where they have a coach that knows how to coach. All right, the Giants don't have a coach that knows how to coach. They have a guy that looks at statistics and looks at the probabilities and says, well, we're going to design plays that do this. Look, I remember watching I don't know what kind of film you call it, a film that the Packers had for Lombardi. Okay, it was an inspirational film. It was like a motivational film, I guess you could call it. And they used the football team as an example to help people in life, you know, in business and whatnot. How to make this, I guess make money was the term. Anyhow, that's something that the Giants need, I think, you know, because Lombardi's philosophy was like, he said, they know what we're going to do and what we're capable of. The only way we beat them is to be better at what we do than they are at defending what we do. So he looked for perfection in blocking and perfection in the plays. He took a certain amount of plays and said, if we do these perfect, this is the offensive part of the game. If we do these perfect, they can't stop us. Then he turned around and looked at the defensive side of the game and said, if we do things the way we're supposed to, they can't beat us. That comes from repetition and practice. Nowadays, it takes 2 days just to read the playbook. All right, it takes them. These guys can't remember the plays. They have notepads taped to their arms so they can read off all this garbage about the play. And, you know, basically it still comes down off tackle left, off tackle right, you know, one hole, and then the player's number. You don't need all this crap that's going on out there. What you need is a coach that teaches the fundamentals, because if you look at what's going on, they spend too much time trying to be the hero and knock the ball out, and when they try to knock the ball out, their guy's gone. The fundamentals say the first guy stops him, the second guy knocks him down, and the third guy goes for the ball if he's still standing. You know, but what happens is that a lot of cases they do that, and the second or third guy comes in and knocks the tackler off the play, and the guy gets another 5 yards or more. Because all these players are prima donnas now. You know, they're being paid a tremendous amount of money. I'm assuming they're actually getting the money. I don't know how that works, but it's usually annuities or something like that, I think, where they don't get it all at one time. That's how they end up in trouble, because they spend it like they have it and they don't have it yet. Look at Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones isn't owed any more money. He was released. He's gone. He didn't have it in his contract. I don't think that he gets paid for not playing. Or it's in his contract that they have to. I don't know how that works. Okay, I'm not going to get involved in it. Hey, Lucy, how are you? She's under the weather this morning. She ate too much grass this morning. Threw up all over the place. Anyhow, they need to simplify the offense, because the quarterbacks that they're hiring lately aren't exactly Mensa candidates. If you look at the 49ers in the days of Walsh and Montana, you know that what they did is they had 25 plays to start the game. You weren't really allowed to change those plays. Okay, you had to run those plays. A little variation off it, but you had to run that basic play, 25 plays. Why? Because they photographed them and saw how the other team reacted to from the setup to the end of the play. What happened? Okay? And then later in the game, when they needed a play, they picked the ones that worked and did them again. The problem with the Giants and other teams, and most of the teams in the National Football League, is that if a play doesn't work, they'll wait till later on and bring it back again. And sometimes they'll bring it back 2 or 3 times in a half. It's not going to work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But are you praying that it's going to work? What, that the other team starts laughing so much? Here comes the same old play again, or that the guys are too stupid and don't believe it's coming again? I have no idea. I just know that I think going back, if you want to be a successful team, when the Giants were successful, they were basic. Parcells was basic. Okay? I was at his practices. He made players do the same play over and over and over and over. Ask Jumbo Elliott about that. I don't know if he's still around or not, but alive, I mean. But ask Jumbo Elliott about that. How many times he had to redo a play because he didn't do it perfectly the first time. That's the Lombardi way, and it worked. They won a Super Bowl. Okay, sure, they got his decisions on how to play and what to play, what the plays were going to be for that game, and his staff, and that was perfecto. The fact that they executed everything perfect won the game for him. You get, from what I understand, looking at the way these guys practice now, they have like Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday is the day they have a full practice. That's it. The rest of the day is meetings trying to explain shit to them. You should explain the shit to them first and then let them practice it afterwards. They don't seem to do that. They're not that they're confused. They just don't execute perfectly. That's all. The play's not going to work unless it's executed perfectly. So if you make a slightest bit mistake, if you're an inch off where you're supposed to be lined up, and you give the defensive player what they call leverage, it's all over. You're not winning that play. Oh, wow. It's like it's I guess to a certain degree it's like politics. You're sitting there and you're saying, I'm going to do this. You don't want to give away secrets so that they can prepare or they can argue against it, because you don't know what to do. What if they argue against it? How are you you don't have any way to negotiate. And that's what they think they're going to be able to do. Is we'll get this through, but we'll have to negotiate some ins and outs here. No. This is it. It will work. Obama did that with health care. They wouldn't vote on it, so I'm pretty sure he did a presidential proclamation on Obamacare or something like that. Anyhow, he rammed it through. It got through. They hated it from the beginning. They tweaked it a little bit during Trump's administration, but not much, because it was a good plan. It worked. Trump can't stand that. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the Republicans, but Trump can't stand that because it's a black man's program. You know, it drove him nuts for years that they called it Obamacare until they changed the name of it. Then he just sort of slowed down a little bit, you know. Now, getting away from sports and that stuff for a second now, going back to politics, I've read that I read an article where they're claiming that his dementia is getting worse. I don't see any signs of dementia when I listen to him. He's always been a raving lunatic, so, you know, he's never been able to say, I don't stay on topic. You watching this? You understand what I'm saying? You know I don't stay on topic. I wander. Does that mean I'm crazy? No, it means I got too much to say. I have too many ideas in my head I want to get out, and I can't get them out fast enough. And then I get this, where I am now. Help me! No, I think that Trump is a great manipulator. And like I said, and I put a post up today, there were 2 reasons why he wanted to become president again. One was he wanted to stay out of jail. 2, he wants to strip the economy. He wants to be up in Musk's class of wealth, okay? Musk could pay off the national debt, theoretically. Trump can't pay his own debts. He's got a mortgage on a hotel he can't pay. That's why he's president. He's going to they're ripping him off. They're doing it now. He sells a guitar for $10,000. Or he sells the coins, or he sells this other stuff that he's selling during the campaign. And everybody thought that money went to the campaign. It didn't. It went in his pocket. It wasn't earmarked for the campaign. It didn't have to go to the campaign. Now, how did he report that as income? I have no idea. You know, how he figures that out, that's not my business. All right? But I think he did it because he knew he was going to win. And I think the only people that didn't know he was going to win were a few Democrats, you know. They looked at some polls, it's going to be tight, it's going to be tight. It wasn't that close, okay? And it wasn't that close because these people that do these polls have agendas. They're looking for a certain answer. It does them no good to say that Trump is 20 points ahead. That's it. That all this programming and everything that's going to go on, that you know, all this advertising they're planning on spending, the money they're looking for and everything isn't going to happen. You know, so that's why I think there probably will be an election in 2028, because the economy needs the boost of an election. You know, Trump needs to get more money. I don't see any way he can run unless he changes the Constitution back to the way it was prior to Theodore Roosevelt. Not Theodore, Franklin Roosevelt, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think they're cousins. All right, I've overextended my welcome today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.